Hi everyone, thanks for watching. It's about 9 o'clock at night on Thursday, the 9th of April, and I just wanted to give you a bit of an update of things that are happening in Cambodia at the moment in regards to COVID-19 and some developments that have occurred today. But before I do that, I thought I'd just do a bit of a timeline of events in Cambodia. So I've had to write everything down in my notebook, so I've got that. Got my trusty glass of wine. So I'll start from the beginning, I suppose. So the first case diagnosed in Cambodia was back on the 27th of January, and that was in Sihanoukville. And there wasn't much progress with the virus for a long time after that. And it wasn't until the 7th of March that there was a case diagnosed in Siem Reap, which is where we are. And immediately after that case was diagnosed, the schools in Siem Reap town were closed, and they remain closed today. So they've been closed for quite some time, over a month now, and we're coming into what would be school holidays until pretty much the last week of April. So yeah, by the time, even if they went back straight after the holidays, which they won't, it would be 2 months. So we're looking at quite a big stretch of time for those students. Then on the 16th of March, there were some further cases diagnosed around the country, and all the schools in Cambodia were closed at that point. So Siem Reap's closed on the 7th, and then the rest of the country followed on the 16th of March. Like, that was really good, swift, decisive action. No messing around. And then on the 18th of March, the schools closing was followed up by an announcement that large gatherings would also be not possible. And that also included religious gatherings and things like that. And that was the same day that my organisation where I work, This Life, enacted our work from home policy, and the majority of employees commenced working from home that afternoon. Then towards the end of March, in the last week of March, culminating on the 31st, about 40,000 workers, Cambodian workers, came back from Thailand because they knew that the border was going to close, and also with Khmer New Year coming up, they wanted to come back to their families and to their homelands in Cambodia. So that was a mass movement of people across the borders with Thailand, the land borders, on the 31st of March. And then, about a week passed, and then on the 8th of April, which was this week, yesterday in fact, the Khmer New Year public holidays were cancelled. So we knew that there weren't going to be any large celebrations for Khmer New Year because they'd already been cancelled with the large gatherings kind of ruling. But this was actually saying that the public holidays wouldn't occur. So there's usually 3 public holidays for Khmer New Year, but this year was the first year that there were going to be 4 instead of 3, just because they'd rearranged some of the other public holidays throughout the year to make Khmer New Year 4. So everyone was gearing up for a big celebration, and it was quite disappointing for a lot of local people, I guess, that it had changed. It was going to be changed or postponed to a more suitable date. But the sweetener is that when we eventually do get the holidays, we will get 5 instead of 4. So that does take the edge off things a little bit. So that was this week, just yesterday. And then today, there were 2 announcements today. So the first one came at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And it said that anyone who took leave from their work, so because people were still working, then they were obviously entitled to take leave if they wanted to. But it was announced that anyone who took leave and then in that period of leave left their district of residence, they would have to do 14-day quarantine period on their return to their home. So there wasn't much detail around that, like whether it would be home quarantine or in some facility that was run by the government. We don't know. So we were just kind of dealing with that information and thinking about what to tell staff, what would be the best, advice to give as an organisation of what to do. And then at 5 o'clock, so we were just in the meeting talking about what to do about the first announcement that had come at 1 o'clock, when another announcement came through at 5, and it said that all travel outside of your own district would be banned from midnight tonight. So that gave people like 7 hours from when it was announced until the ban comes into place. So I guess it's going to cause a bit of chaos in terms of people trying to relocate while they still have chance. There are some emergency flights, some chartered flights that have been arranged for Australian citizens to go home, but they leave from Phnom Penh, and a lot of the passengers on those flights are living in Siem Reap. And so they need to get to Phnom Penh, which is 6 hours drive away, by midnight tonight. So there was a bit of activity on social media about that, because some of the drivers that people had organised to take them down to Phnom Penh for that flight cancelled because they knew that it would be after midnight and they wouldn't be able to then return home. So they told these people that they could no longer take them. So those people were madly trying to find a replacement driver. But since then, I've seen other announcements that there's going to be a bit of a grace period, and if the people that are on those flights can produce a letter, which they'll be provided with, then they'll be able to still travel tomorrow to get to Phnom Penh to make the flight on Sunday. So all is well on that front. I just hope that people have seen those messages and realise that they don't need to kind of scramble tonight to try and get there, because I think things will be quite chaotic on the roads, just with local people trying to move around and get where they need to be before the ban comes into place. So as of today, there are only 118 diagnosed cases here in Cambodia. So we're still talking about relatively small numbers, but I guess the government's big concern is that Khmer New Year involves traditionally lots of travel between provinces, lots of gatherings, and then people returning to other provinces. So the potential to transmit virus over this particular period is huge, unprecedented, I guess, since the virus was first diagnosed in a person in Cambodia back on the 27th of January. So I can understand why these steps have been taken, and I really hope that they do slow the spread of the virus here. So that's where we're at tonight. Just about to get our home delivery of food. It's one of the places that we have got to know the owner a bit, Joe's Bar Garage. He's just started delivering today. So he's also got it set up so that you can order direct from him, and then he will organise the driver, and he's not going to use a third-party app, which means that he doesn't have to pay, I think, the 30% that businesses lose through Food Panda, and his driver is going to use one of the bikes that they have there in the garage, and the driver will also get to retain any tips that they're given. So all in all, really good, really excited to receive the food very soon. Okay, so that's the update for today, and we'll let you know when we have something else to talk about. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check our links below and like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.